The first aerial missiles were dropped into the Palestinian city of Jenin in the middle of the night. Israeli drone strikes like this are a military manoeuvre that hasn't been seen in the West Bank in 2 decades. More than 1,000 ground forces then moved in and armed fighting broke out between Israel and Palestinian gunmen. Israel says it was targeting Palestinian militants, either responsible for or planning attacks on Israel. And fierce fighting gripped the city in a siege-like situation all day and into a second night. Israel says it found explosives manufacturing tools hidden under a mosque. It also used massive armoured bulldozers to rip up roads, it says, to detect roadside bombs. But there's been extensive damage to the infrastructure in Jenin. Palestinian authorities I've spoken with on the ground say electricity and water has been cut off to the Jenin refugee camp and a local hospital in an area that's home to about 22,000 people. Local ambulances were also blocked by Israel from reaching some of those injured, which the World Health Organization has labelled deplorable. Some of the Palestinians killed have been claimed by militant groups, but it's still unclear whether any civilians have been killed. At least one child has died, and it is likely that number will rise, with several more people critical. And as Israel indicates, the raid could continue for several days.
So we're not here to hold ground. We are focused on the infrastructure inside the camp. It could be hours, it could be days. Once we make the achievement that we need to make, we'll be out of there.
Our heroic people will confront this aggression that is taking place under the eyes of the international community, where innocent people are bombed by planes.
Groups like the United Nations and the World Health Organization have expressed alarm at the escalation in this situation, and they've mobilised urgent humanitarian support to the Jenin area, which has been extensively damaged in some parts. Palestinian militant groups, including Hamas and Islamic Jihad, are promising retaliation in what they have labelled a massacre. Israel is preparing for rocket fire from Gaza. Now, the last time this sort of a major military operation was seen in the West Bank involving more than a dozen aerial drone strikes and thousands of troops, it was during the second Intifada, the second Palestinian uprising of the early 2000s. And the situation here is now incredibly tense as more violence is expected over the coming days.